What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to our channel. It's your boy Retro CG, and I'm joined tonight by Miss Really Big TV.
Hi.
Hi, what's going on?
Same stuff, different day. What's good with you?
Same stuff, different day. I like the way that sounds already. So we're here tonight to talk about Bel-Air. It's season 1, episode 8. No one wins when the family feuds. So, what do you think about the episode?
I don't know. It wasn't my favorite.
What? It wasn't your favorite?
No.
This episode gave me a lot of insight on what's getting ready to happen. Thought it was pretty dope.
Okay, well, let's go.
All right, so the episode starts off with Uncle Phil and Carlton. They're playing golf, and somehow, some way, him having to be his caddy is punishment.
I said the same thing. I was like, that's the punishment, is that he has to carry your golf. What's up with pulls my teeth? That he has to carry your golf club? That's the punishment.
That's punishment. Yeah, okay.
I guess so, that's how you get punished on the rich side of town.
I guess so. So Uncle Phil's pretty much explaining to him why he's on punishment. He's on punishment because of the party last week and the police having to show up to the house. And he informs him that Carlton asks, well, why isn't Will on punishment? And he's like, well, it's Will's birthday weekend. His punishment is on hold. Once his birthday is over, he'll go back on and be on punishment. So I feel like that kind of contributes to Carlton's resentment towards Will because, they kind of go easier on Will. And you even hear Uncle Phil tell him that, listen, you're conditioned for this. You know what the expectations are. So you know how you need to be moving out here, how you need to be acting. Will's still trying to adjust to all this. So what did you think about that scene?
I agree with what you just said. I think that what we saw in this episode is that Carlton wants to like Will. I don't think it's fake. That conversation they have at the end, I think is really important, and I think it's real. Where Carlton just feels like, but I think he's put a lot of this pressure on himself. I don't know if so much the family puts that pressure on him, or if he put that pressure on himself. But I agree. He feels like Will gets away with everything. But I think the bigger thing is that he looks at Will, and Will, everything just seems to come easy to Will.
I agree. Sorry, I'm on the chat. But I think part of it is also that they have a discussion about his campaign and how their actions affect his campaign. And being that the media and everyone is looking at his kids, the entire family is under scrutiny. So everyone needs to kind of move, behind the scenes until this whole thing blows over. And Carlton offers his assistance. Like, what can I do to help? So I almost felt like Carlton might want to get his hands a little dirty with Fred.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm being honest, I'm a little frustrated because I told you before, I don't like when I feel like these shows play with my intelligence. Carlton, you are way too smart. You understand exactly how that party played out and how it affected, why it was a problem. Like, for you to act like it wasn't a big deal. Oh, there was minimal damage and all we got was a noise complaint. When you know that Lisa's father is basically the reason why your ass didn't get taken out in handcuffs, and that there's tension between those families, and you basically you put your father in a position that Lisa's dad owes him something. You know what I'm saying? And I felt, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that was one of my frustrations with this episode, is I feel like there was so many things in this episode where I was like, come on, like you playing with my intelligence. You know how I feel about when shows play with my intelligence. And I feel like that was one of the examples. There were a few more as we go through the episode, but that was definitely one of them where I'm sitting here going, why are you acting like you don't understand why that was a problem? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You should know better. You should know better.
Yeah. I mean, Uncle Phil does it later on in the episode when he's talking to the Congress, I mean the councilman, and he was like, that's my family. That has nothing to do with me. Come on, bruh. Like, you're in politics. You know that everything surrounding you becomes your issue. We've seen it happen in politics since the beginning of time. They're going to always find your Achilles heel and they're going to exploit it. And it doesn't have to be anything that has anything to do with you. And so
Especially, I mean, I don't want to bring colorism into it, but especially that you're a minority candidate. You're a minority candidate, so you're going to be even under more scrutiny, and you're going to be under your family is going to be even on more scrutiny and in the spotlight, where they're going to be looking for any and everything to exploit or bring out dirty laundry on you and your family. So, I mean, I agree with that. Y'all all know better. So the next scene, Uncle Phil got that long money. He got that guap. Uncle Phil got that long money. We see Will's mom, Vi. She pull up on the scene in a Learjet. I'm like, whoa, long money. Yo, so Vivian and Will are at the airport and they're waiting for her to step off the plane. And Aunt Viv like kind of reminds Will, like, listen, don't say nothing to your mom about this whole party thing. I don't want to stress her out. I don't want to get her all worked up. It's your birthday weekend. Let's enjoy the weekend. And she steps off the plane, and they exchange pleasantries or whatever. But you kind of almost instantly feel the tension. They did a very good job. They're doing a very good job. The actors are doing a very good job portraying this unknown tension, beef, drama that they have, which I feel like parts of it comes out in this episode, but I still think there's more to it than just, you left me behind and you live well. I mean, she's not destitute. She's not struggling. She has a decent job, so, where are the bitterness?
And Will flew first class. He did not fly coach.
Yeah, he did fly first class. Remember they gave him a little mimosa. He was drinking a
Right.
mimosa. Yeah, or at least business class.
And that was actually I saw that was actually one of those Easter eggs that they keep throwing in. A lot of people have never heard the second
She
verse
did
of
come
that
off the plane
song.
ready. She was ready. Oh,
Yeah,
go.
she was. But a lot of people haven't heard the second verse of that song. And in the second verse of the song, he talks about how he flew first class and they gave him orange juice in a champagne glass. So
Yep.
that was like one of those Easter eggs where they showed him sitting on the plane with the orange juice and
With the
the
orange juice. Yep.
champagne glass. Yeah, that was like one of those little Easter eggs. Um, but yeah, yeah, Aunt Viv got off that plane already, but it ain't stopping from getting on that damn private jet.
Right. And enjoyed all those amenities that came with a private jet.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
I need somebody to come pick me up in a private jet.
I know, right? Maybe one of these days I'll get to experience that. First class,
Maybe,
yes, but
maybe.
not a private jet fly. That's a whole different baller right there. I ain't on that level yet. We try. So in the next scene we see
There
Hillary.
go Fresh Your Highness. Did you get the link?
Fresh ain't getting on here.
Oh, I thought okay. I'm okay.
I be trying to get Fresh on here all the time. He ain't coming nowhere. Um so the next thing we see Hillary, she's in the kitchen, and she's setting up her camera and her ring light, and she's contemplating getting ready to make some new content. Um so we in the thirsty kitchen, and
Not the third.
Kylo comes in the house or whatever, and he's basically like, tell me you're working on your follow-up video. So he wants her to post more thirsty content or whatever. And you see a little bit of, even before she has a conversation with her mom, you see there's a little bit of reluctance about it, because even though she's got this endorsement with Victoria's Secret and everything, she's getting paid $15K for a post, she kind of knows in her own heart, in her own mind, that this is not really what I wanted for my brand. So she's kind of reluctant about doing that. And she says, well, I need to talk to my parents about this and make sure that my parents are cool with this, and that they I got to ease him into this a little bit. He's like, "Oh, you got to go ask permission from your mom and dad." And she's like, "Yo, don't try to play me like that. You know what the deal is, and you know why I need to go talk to my parents about it." I can't stand him. I'm ready for him to go. And I don't
Yeah,
know if
I'm
anybody
crazy
utilities
about
are
Kyler.
getting turned off in this show, but his utilities I want turned off. His water cut off. I agree, Xavier. They really did cast him well. And there's some talk about the original, the second Aunt Viv, and the lady that played Vi, Will's mom in the original series, is actually going to be in this series. I think they're going to be part of the art gallery panel that Vivian's paying for. So that's going to be really neat to see the original characters playing different characters, and interacting with their previous characters. So I can't wait to see how that works. Let me see what Fresh talking about. He said, "I'm driving home, but I promise I'm definitely going to get on with y'all ASAP." He told me I'm almost caught up on episodes. He say that all the time. He ain't coming nowhere. He ain't going, he ain't going nowhere. So what you think about poor Hillary? Because all she want to do is cook her food. Now she
Yeah, I
got to
think the
work in
biggest
the
thing
thirsty kitchen.
I think the biggest thing that's driving Hillary is the fact that she doesn't want to look like she's failed. And when Kylo later on in the episode, when he sort of like reads down her list of, yeah, I knew this was going to be a problem with you because this, and this, and that, you quit this, you dropped out of school. I think she doesn't want this to be one more thing that her parents could say, hey, you didn't do this. Hey, you failed at this. And at the end of the day, Hillary not pissed me off, but I got frustrated with Hillary this episode as well because once again, I'm like, y'all playing with my intelligence. You mean to sit here and tell me that one, you didn't read your contract, but after last week, when you found out that all your content belongs to Kylo, did you not go back and look at your contract? Like the people in the house
Because
tried
you were
to
so
warn
thirsty,
you.
the thirsty kitchen. You were so thirsty to get up out of that pool house that you didn't even take the time to read the fine print. You know,
And I'm really surprised, and I understand the parents were trying to like give her some leeway, but I'm really surprised that her father didn't insist on reading that contract or having a lawyer read the contract before she signed it. Like I'm kind of surprised at that, but she may not have told him all of the details or whatever. But you know better, Hillary. Like you're not a kid.
right?
You know better.
I would have even expected for her to have her father read the contract. Your daddy's a lawyer.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know if my dad's a lawyer, he reading everything.
Yeah, yeah. He reading her apartment lease.
And even right, and even after last week when old girl when she was like, he can't do that, he took my content, and she was like, yo, everything in this house belongs to him. Everything you put on that cloud, it belongs to him. Like at that point, it would have made me second guess and be like, well, wait a minute, what have I gotten myself into? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So there he is.
Oh well, hello, what's up, Darkwing
Wow.
Duck?
Well, look who
What's up?
showed up.
Yeah, I was gonna pull up. I just left the gym.
What I told you.
Yeah, we said that. We said you was probably at the gym.
What I
I was
told
gonna
you.
pull up. I just left the gym, so I had to knock it out. Where we at on the show? What's up, chat?
So next scene we see Uncle Phil and Assembly Hernandez, they kind of pull off in the golf cart and they go to have a conversation, about his endorsement. And Uncle Phil wants to know, are you going to continue to endorse me? And then that's when he brings to attention, reminds him of the fact that, you're in the spotlight. The things that your family doing, you got to get your kids under control if you want to expect to win this race and furthermore get my endorsement. So I feel like it was good advice. I don't feel like he was giving him that advice in a malicious manner. He was just telling him facts. Like, if you think that you're gonna win this race just on the fact that you got long money, that ain't gonna work.
Is
Yeah, I
that
kind of.
okay? Why Soul is in the chat? Is that
Yeah, he said he was gonna be in the chat.
oh okay, okay.
He's trying to get home too.
Yeah, I kind of feel like on that scene, he kind of put it in perspective for him. Like, everything that you do is under, it ain't even, you can be picture perfect, but everything your family does is under a microscope. So, be
Alone for
mindful
what,
of that.
Abby?
What she say?
As far as Hillary,
To pay that fine. She had said earlier in the chat that Hillary ain't had no money. She ain't got no trust fund that she get access to get that 50 grand that she got to pay back Kylo. She need that money.
Now she don't have to work that off.
She need that money.
I mean, I guess she probably could, but she doesn't want to go to her parents. I don't think she got $50,000 just sitting in an account. No, I don't think that.
No, I don't think none of them have access to that kind of guap. Yeah.
No, she can't say it. Yeah, say daddy. She don't want to say, mommy, daddy, rescue me.
Well, I don't think daddy gonna want to rescue her right now because she kind of pissed him off this episode, when he want to take that post down. So she kind of on the outs with him right now. So he ain't gonna drop that money on him. He might go get Jeffrey to deal with it.
Jeffrey mad at him too.
Jeffrey mad at him too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, I think Jeffrey was finna put in.
We haven't got there yet. But I thought the same thing.
I think that's exactly what that was.
That was a resignation letter.
I was gonna text you last night. I'm like, man, bro probably ain't even seen it yet.
Oh, I was watching it. I was at the hotel watching it. So the family gets back home. So it's Vivian, Vi, and Will. They get back to the house. And is it me or she act like that was the first time she seen the house?
It was.
Yeah.
She said she hadn't been out there since they got married. She said she hadn't been.
That's right.
And Viv had been to Philly, but she hadn't been. She said she hadn't been there since they got married.
Okay, so she walks in and she see how they living. I mean, hell, she should have known how they were living when that private jet pulled up for her ass. But she get there, she looks at the house, and Vivian is trying her best to be, warm. But the picture, she was saying something about this Diane in the picture. Is that a friend of theirs?
I think she's another artist. Jack? But maybe she is a friend of theirs, though. But she's another artist.
Because she instantly recognized who the picture was.
Right.
And she commented to it. And they started having a little conversation about old times or whatever. Will's taking his mom's bags up to the room. He gets a text from Lisa saying, "I'm at the pool house." Lisa, she a freak. She ready to get it on. She is a freak. She is
that just don't sit right with me, man.
It don't sit right.
I don't like it. I don't like it either. I don't like it. I don't like it.
With me, man. I'm not saying, what I'm saying, like, she a little off the chain, like you said, she a little, a little freaky, but man, that don't sit right with me, man.
Bro code, man. Bro code.
That don't sit right with me, man.
I guess the bigger thing is, Will is more exciting for her. And she's having more fun with whatchamacallit. And then even by Carlton's own admission in this episode, he put her through a lot. So she want to be wild.
Yeah, I mean Carlton did it. But man, oh my God.
Yeah.
That bro code is just burned up, crashed, fucking man, drowned. Damn.
But he seems,
and that's a relative. It ain't even like it.
He seems
it ain't a friend. It's a relative.
And the thing about Vi is instantly, she starts talking about how well they're living, and you ain't got to struggle no more, and you don't have that problem anymore with money and stuff like that. I think Vivian was trying to stay neutral, and keep everything calm. And then she drops the bomb right there. Like, as soon as she get there, she dropped the bomb like, yo, I think I need to tell Will about his father. And, you see the look of like, no, we can't do this. Today of all days, this weekend is his birthday. I don't think this is the time yet. We need to wait a little while longer. What do y'all think the secret is? What do y'all think it's all about?
How big of a scumbag is his father? That's the first thing that went to hit my head. Is how big? Like we seen like in the in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that his father was a scumbag, like he was a no call no show. But now I'm like, it seemed like he was a bigger scumbag than that. It got to be something else that's underlining that ain't even really bringing in.
Well, parts of me think that, and then there's other parts of me. It seems like maybe he was out in the streets or something. And, maybe they did something to make him go away. Maybe they put some time on him. Maybe they did a ghost and Tasha on him, and send him away. They're the reason why he's not in Will's life, and we just need
Right.
to figure out
Something they
why.
did. It's something they did that stopped him from being a part of Will. Like I don't think he's out of Will's life willingly.
Yes, I don't think he's out of Will's life willingly. I agree
I'm
with
even
that.
questioning if he knows Will exists.
I think he does. I think he does.
Well, yeah, he does because he's the one that took the picture of Will with his mom at the end of the episode. So yeah, you're right.
That's a fact, Abby.
Abby. Oh my God, you're so funny. So Will and Lisa, they in the pool house, they make it out or whatever, and he's like, "Yo, we can't do this right now. My mom's here for my birthday. I want her to meet you, but I want her to meet you in the right way. So we're gonna have to put this on pause. We'll come back to this, after you meet my mom or whatever. I want her to have a good impression on you." And at this point, y'all still ain't thought about Carlton. Y'all still ain't thought about how we're going to, bring Carlton in on this situation and let him know that we're a couple now.
I think Carlton knows.
Well, yeah, he knows from last weekend, but
Carlton
still,
definitely know.
they hadn't had that conversation with him.
Ain't
Will
nothing to
hasn't
bring
had
in. Carlton know.
that conversation with him to let him know that we moving forward with a relationship. We dealing with each other like that, but that's kind of crazy. What are y'all thinking about Lisa so far?
I like Lisa, but I don't like this move.
I like her too. I like her character. I think she brings a lot of sensibility to Will, but I don't like the way she's moving in this situation. Yep, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. So, like I said, Uncle Phil and Carlton, they continue to have their conversation, about how he wants to win this race, but he's got to figure out how to deal with Fred. Carlton availed himself of his services, and I feel like Carlton, is probably going to do something. I don't know exactly what he's going to do, but I think he's going to try to find some way to be a hindrance to Fred. I'm not quite sure how, but Carlton's not a dummy, so he's resourceful. So we'll see what kind of troubles he makes for his dad's competition.
Mm.
So
you think that's gonna happen?
I don't know. I felt like there was a little foreshadowing there, when Carlton's like, "What can I do to help?" And then Uncle Phil's like, "Well, the best thing you can do for me is to keep your nose clean," but teenagers, So Hillary shows up at the house, and she greets Aunt Vi, and they start having a conversation about her posts and everything, and that's when Vivian learns that her sister follows her niece on social media and likes and comments on her picture. But we also learned that she got banned. She got banned with love. She got banned with love because but it also shows that Aunt Vi is more supportive of Hillary's movements and decisions and lifestyle. She's less judgmental as her mother. So that's kind of a sense of comfort for her.
But that's a great sibling debate, though. That's what it seems like, because it seems like, all right, with Vivian, it just seemed like that she's doing more for Will and playing more of a mother role and more supportive of what Will got going on, what Will wants to do, and then it's the opposite way when it comes down to Hillary. With Hillary, it is kind of like, at one moment, she's like, well, you need to paint your own path, this and the other, but just don't do it this way because I can't support it this way, but Aunt Vibe is kind of like, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, I will support it. So I think it's more like a sibling rivalry.
Yeah. So let's go back to the whole thing, because the chat is blowing up about this whole Carlton and Lisa situation. Do you think that once Lisa finds out about Will's background, and I'm not going to necessarily say background because it wasn't like he was in the streets full time or anything like that. He made a dumb decision, poor decision, and the repercussions could have turned out differently. Do you think she's going to think less of him when she finds out about the whole situation in Philly?
Yes.
I don't think so, but I think she's going to be in her feelings because he didn't tell her the truth. So
Yeah.
That's why I think she
them
will think
She's
differently.
asked him a couple times at this point. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I think she will think something differently because he lied.
yeah.
Well, technically, he didn't
What's
lie. He just didn't reveal.
No, he
You know?
lied because he said he
Admitting
came
is still
out
lying,
for
ain't
better.
it?
He said he came out for better opportunities, for better school and stuff, and that's not why he came out there. That's been a perk of it. But if that were the case, his mother would have sent him out there at the beginning of high school. So no,
I think on mission is the same thing, I guess, I suppose. Especially when
that's true, too.
she
A lie
asked for the
is
truth.
a lie.
A lie by omission. Okay, I get it, Xavier. I get it. But it kind of goes back to what Uncle Phil was saying. And I don't know if it was a previous episode or it was an episode before that, but sometimes you got a lot to the people you care about, a lot to the people you love situation, for his best interest and his safety, his uncle's campaign, I can't really be putting my business all out in the street like that. And I'm very glad to see that Carlton is not using that, dangling that as leverage over his head now to, try to keep them apart or whatever the case may be. And, who knows? Lisa might even be with the shits. So we'll see how that turns out. But I definitely think that there's going to be a temperature change between the two of them when she does find out for a short term.
It doesn't end well at all.
He
No,
said, I tried that. I did a lot of things before and it ended well for me.
It never does.
Sorry, Waz.
You admit it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Unfortunately.
Exactly.
lie
Especially when I ask you a direct question. Nah.
Mhm.
Well, he definitely has had opportunity. I'll tell you that. He's definitely had opportunity to be honest with her about the situation. But then again, at the same time, I'm looking at it like, your business. So,
I mean, he can look at it like that, but
you
considering the bond that they have,
I don't need you all
considering the bond that they supposed to be forming, it just seemed like she's gonna feel like she caught the worst end of the stick, not just by telling Will what her real name is, but just off the fact that she asked him, what was going on with you. And she probably could have kept a secret. Who knows? She probably would have kept it up under
I
wraps.
wouldn't
And
have
maybe
trusted her either, though. Like, I
I
understand why
I
Will.
wouldn't trust her with something like that,
Yeah, I
especially being
understand why
who her
Will did
daddy is. Yeah. I'm sorry, Miss Beulah, but I don't think I would have trusted you with that.
Lord,
Miss Beulah.
I wouldn't have, but at the same time, who knows?
Dang, Abby.
What Ebony? Oh my God.
Abby killing off?
She killing off everybody. Golly.
I vote that Jeffrey started turning off people water or started with Fred and Reed and Kylo and possibly Lou. Damn.
I'm gonna say Reed, Kylo, and then I'm gonna say Reed and Kylo.
I said that earlier at the beginning of the episode. I wanted Kylo to go.
Kylo's
I'm a little cautious about Fred though. He's 12, so I don't know if we could do that.
Yeah, I'm not taking 12 out.
I don't know if we can make them kind of moves.
That's when you really get a badge of honor then.
Yeah, I don't know. That might not be the best move for the family to get rid of 12.
That's
what had all eyes on you. But Kylo,
unless you just put some dirty shit on them and get them arrested.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah, we need to put some charges on them or something. Yeah. So Hillary's back at the house. She don't find
That's
the
facts. That's facts.
What's that?
That's facts. Xavier said you can't trust no hoe who can switch between cousins. That's all facts.
Okay, now we ain't gonna call her a hoe though. We ain't gonna do that.
That's facts.
We ain't gonna call her a hoe.
I'm gonna say she morally challenged.
Morally confused. How about that? Maybe she's liberated.
I don't know if it's about. Well, I don't know. I guess
she don't have no discretion when it comes. She don't have no discretion when it comes down to herself sexually.
Somebody said earlier in the chat that they didn't feel like she was ever romantically attracted to Carlton, and I can see that. I
think she was. I mean, we weren't there, but I think it was a real relationship. I just think that whatever this secret is that they're holding on to with Carlton, I think was bad. I just think it was really bad.
Well, speaking of that, here is another secret or another
real secret.
Do you think that his parents had something to do with his, I'm not going to say mental instability, but his insecurity, his anxiety? He seems to be struggling with some type of inner battle. What do you think is the root cause of it. I think it's his. I'm not gonna say his relationship is tumultuous with his father, but he seems to be very affected by his father's actions and his thought process of how his father rears him in comparison to Will. So, do you think that his father has had such a high expectation for him, or such a demand for him to be perfect, that
I
it's
think
kind of
Carlton got.
overloading him?
I think Carlton has a man for him to be perfect. Like he said, like he was like, I had to go and battle to be, the best of this and the best of that and the
Hold
best of
on,
that.
Xavier. Wait a minute, Xavier. See, Xavier, you was my dude now, but now you talk about Professor Milgram. We ain't got nothing else to talk about, Xavier.
Nah, she ain't that bad.
No, she ain't that bad.
Ain't nobody on the show as
And
bad as
Carrie
Professor
wasn't that
Milgram.
bad. And
Nobody's
Carrie
on the
wasn't
show as
that
bad
bad
as Professor Milgram.
and Carrie
However,
wasn't that bad either.
Here we go.
she was definitely a hoe.
Whoa.
But I think Carlton's expectation of himself is
You
actually
know
to
what?
be
I can't
perfect.
wait for P Valley to get started back up so we can talk about Yoho Autumn Night. I can't wait to talk about that trash ball.
Wait a minute, hold on. Who? Wait a minute,
And
who's
she's still money. And
I'm not really sure how we got into that.
I don't know how we got into poor Carrie being a hoe. She wasn't a hoe.
Because Xavier just built the truth. She definitely was a hoe.
How many bodies she got on her?
She was a hoe for sure.
We're talking about Bel-Air. And speaking of, well, I ain't gonna even call her a hoe either.
She got passed around more than the best weed.
Whatever.
Oh, damn.
Whatever. Let's talk about the Thirsty Kitchen. So the Thirsty Kitchen finally got the nerve up to tell her parents that she take their post down. Her family ain't feeling that. And, her dad was like, I thought you told us that you were going to take that post down. You know that I'm out here in this campaign. You know what that's going to look like for me. Like, I need you to take that post down. And, she's trying to argue her point to her family, even though she's not comfortable with it. She's trying to argue the point with her family. This is an opportunity for me, and I want to do what's best for me. I want to see this through. It's an opportunity for me to make money. But you also sometimes the decisions that you make in life does affect other people. And when you're in a situation where your actions affect others, you have to be a little bit more considerate to that fact. You ain't just you're connected to a high profile family. You can't be out here putting up stuff like that and think that there's not going to be a negative outcome on the family. So what y'all think about that scene?
I think she having
Uncle
an
Phil
identity
wasn't
crisis.
feeling that. He wasn't here for that at all.
I think she having an identity crisis. I think she's just still trying to define herself,
I agree with that.
the help of her parents. So like trying to create that separation, because you feel like, or she's been put in the position where it seems like she's the golden girl of the Banks family, and she's just trying to create that separation. So she don't want their help, and she feels as though that she don't need their help. So she feels as though that she has free will to do whatever she does, and it don't necessarily affect what they got going on. But it's definitely an issue. Hell, it's an issue if I wasn't even running the campaign. It's an issue.
I think
Let's cut her water off too, then, Evie. Let's cut her water off too.
No, we can cut Thirsty Kitchen
don't
off
think it's
now.
so much.
We got to eat still. We still got to eat. But I agree with Evie. But we still got to eat now. We can't get rid of the Thirsty Kitchen.
But I think what she's struggling with is, I don't think it's so much her identity so much as it is fast money or slow money. I think that she's comfortable in what she's doing as far as wanting to do food, wanting to do it her way. But when she did that Thirsty Chef and those views and the notoriety and the sponsorships, like it was everything that she wanted was coming to her. It just was coming to her in a way that she wasn't comfortable with. And so I think she was balancing.
And so fast.
Yeah, I think she was balancing between, am I okay with sort of selling my soul to get what I want versus go back to what I was doing. And I was making good views and I was getting it, I was getting some attention. It just wasn't on the level where I'm trying to go. Like 100,000 views per video versus 3 million views per video. And I think that's what she was trying to balance.
Well, her father wasn't hearing that, and he was very disappointed in the fact that she pretty much refused to take the video down. I think ultimately she will, but in this time,
she can't take the video down. It belongs to Kylo. He can do whatever he wants with that video. She doesn't have the authority to take the video down.
So the 50K ain't had nothing to do with taking the video down.
That's
The
what I
50
thought too. I mean, when she quit the house,
the 50K is the term. So the 50K,
50K is to terminate that contract.
yeah, that's the termination fee. That's like if you move out of your apartment early and you got a broken lease agreement, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay that amount. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you get to stay in that apartment any longer. You broke the lease. Now there's a penalty for it. So she signed a contract for her to live in that house and create content for a certain amount of time. And she doesn't fulfill that contract, there's a penalty. And I don't think, I could be wrong, you know, but I didn't get the impression that maybe that $50,000 gets her content back. But until then, and I'm still not sure about that, but until then, Kylo owns all of that.
So the content is not posted on her page, but his?
It may be posted on her page, but he owns it. He probably has access to all of everybody that lives in that house. He probably, because he has to have access, because remember, he uploaded the video. I wouldn't feel comfortable in an environment like that with somebody else got my passwords and stuff. I wouldn't feel comfortable with somebody else being able to access my page. Like, I don't know. Again, this is all new to me, but he must have access if he was able to upload that video.
Right.
And it may be the TOS for living in an influencer house. Just like probably like on a reality show and things like that. So there may be certain TOS that are in place that will say that you have to relinquish or share your social media accounts with I guess he's the I don't know what the hell his role is in the house, head influencer or whatever.
So he would have exclusive rights to their shit.
Not exclusive, because I mean she still can access her own page and she still can go in and upload her own content, and I would think that she would be able to remove content
so
as well.
Abby said that it all goes into the cloud and he has access to the cloud, so he's not necessarily having access to their personal pages, but he has access to the cloud. That's what it is. Okay.
Well, Vivian was very quiet.
So how did he put it on her channel though?
I guess. I don't know, y'all.
Cause he put the video on her channel.
He did do that. So I guess we back
well,
when we started.
It has been mentioned. I think it has been mentioned that the information, the videos do go into the cloud, but how did he get?
He got the video out the cloud and posted it on her page.
Right.
Is what I'm taking it to have happen. But I would think that if she was not able to take the video down, I would think that she would mention by now that, hey, I can't even access my own social media page. He's got access to my accounts. So I think that it'll just be kind of like what Crystal was saying earlier. I think that it'll be further violation to her TOS for being in the influencer house. Not necessarily that she can't remove it physically. I think she can, but I think it'll just be another fine, or it'll be more of her violating her contract or her terms and condition or terms of service for being in that dumbass influencer house. But what was very interesting, you saw the parents kind of reverse roles, because you really expected Viv to kind of be a little bit more upset about her not taking the video down, but she was very quiet, she was very reserved, she was very paused. Whereas Uncle Phil, he was a little bit, and I think that he wouldn't have been as livid if it was the whole for the campaign thing. But she was like, I've learned it's better to argue less and listen more when it comes to you. And I think that's a good approach that she's taking with Hillary, because, you know, in the beginning of the season, we saw that, you know, she was trying to parent her, you know, she was trying to kind of influence her decision making. And she's kind of taking a role and step back now and say, you know what, you grown. This is how you want to live your life. Do you? And, you know, even Kylo was telling her some of the same things that her mom was telling her, like, you never stick with one thing. You jump from place to place to place to place, you know. So at some point, you're going to have to start experiencing what's called consequences. When you do things in life, you got to think about the repercussions. So
that's true.
What y'all think about Old Thirsty Kitchen? What y'all think she's going to end up doing?
I'm not doing Thirsty Kitchen no more.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
don't think she's gonna do the Thirsty Kitchen no more either.
I think ultimately she will stop the whole Thirsty Chef thing. Like she,
you know what I was thinking that too.
when you look at it in hindsight, like she's young, so like people change like a lot of times when they're younger. Like she's not doing nothing that anybody of her age would do. Like how many times people change majors or change positions at with their work and stuff like that until they actually find a spot, find a creative or find a niche that works for them in that situation. Hell, even 40 or 50-year-olds change what they're doing in life. So I just think that she's just trying to, find her way. But I think she's just trying to do it while her parents' influence.
I agree, and there's
But
nothing wrong
thirsty
with
kitchen,
that.
but thirsty chef is just not it for her. She already see like
Yeah, the thirsty
how
kitchen
degrading
shit
that
ain't gonna work
is,
for her.
to her brand.
Yeah, that thirsty kitchen shit ain't gonna work for her. She need to let that shit
Yeah.
ride. But I'm hoping what doesn't ultimately end up happening is she stop cooking. I hope she doesn't stop cooking and jump on the OnlyFans side of this thing, because she's seeing that this she's getting more notoriety, she's
Sex
getting more
sales, basically.
popularity, and
Sex sales, basically.
it's sex sales. And being
Yeah.
that Victoria's Secret is giving her this 15K per post endorsement, I hope she doesn't rebrand herself and become something that she really doesn't want to be, but she out here trying to get this money. And if she's trying to get this money and she see that the sex is what's bringing it in, I hope she don't go a different direction. And I mean, if that's the case, you could just stay with the Thirsty Kitchen. But we'll see where that goes.
See me, I
Well,
don't
just
think it's necessarily about the money.
It is about the
Well,
money.
her
She lives
parents
in a
got
hotel
money.
right now.
I mean,
She's destitute. She's in a motel or a hotel.
I think her
That ain't
parents
gonna
got
last
money. I
long.
think it's more just so her find her own way without her parents. She's the one to lean on her parents so much. Like she
That's
could
what
have
it started
actually,
out as.
she
Yeah.
could have went
that's
to
what it
Uncle
started
Phil.
out at.
She could have went to Phil before this, but Vivian was like, "Do you really want to go to your dad to help you out of this situation?
Or
Try
do you
finding
want to
your
find
own
your way
path
out
to get out the
alone?
situation." That's why I say I don't think it's about the money, because she has access to all that. She has access to the power. She has access to the money. It's more about her. For me, in my opinion, I think it's more about her just finding her own way.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you slightly on that, because she said it in earlier episodes when she was trying to get out the house that she needed to have enough money for her to be out here on her own. When the opportunity for the influencer came out, that made it easier for her to do that, because she didn't have to worry about rent, she didn't have to worry about no bills or anything like that, because she didn't have income coming in. I don't necessarily think that it's motivated. Initially, I think it was motivated by, I want to get out here, I want to live outside of my parents' shadow, and to a certain degree, it still is. But in order to do that, you need income. And at this moment in time, she don't have no income coming in because she's quit the influencer house, and
But
she's
she
not.
can get it though, because her dad is rich. Her dad
But
didn't deny her of anything. Her dad didn't say, "No, I'm not giving you anything. You just need to figure out on your own." He never
right,
said that.
right, but at the same time, like now she's just like, hey, I'm trying to get it on my own. So
That's why I said she's trying to find her own way. Her
so
dad
that
never denied her
15K,
about getting money.
that 15K sound real good.
She can get 15K from her dad.
A month though?
Maybe not a month, but she definitely can get it where she's comfortable.
Well, not even a month, because it's 15K a post.
Right, it's 15K a post, but she could get it. She can get it to where she's comfortable, where she don't have to do that. And then why I say I feel as though there's more her trying to find her own way. She was in a situation where she could have went to her dad, and her
And she
mom
did.
stopped her and said, "No, you should try to rescue yourself. You don't have to go through that. Find your own lane, find your own way to get yourself up out of the situation, because you put yourself in the situation. Do you
Right.
really want to keep running to your dad?" And that's why I feel as though there is more so her finding herself. Like her dad is rich. You don't have to live poor if your parents is rich and they willing to just keep giving you and giving you and giving you.
Right, because she was going to her dad to fix that one situation instead of fixing her whole situation. So
Right.
you going to your dad to get him to take down that one post. But what happens the next time you do something that Kylo likes or doesn't like it? He either puts it up or takes it down. Like you,
Jeffrey cuts his water off.
that's what I'm saying. The problem is bigger, and I think that's what Aunt Viv was trying to say. Like The problem is bigger than this one situation. You got to figure out. You got yourself in this situation with this influencer house, right? You
Mhm.
It's not about this one instance that you want your daddy to fix. It's about the house is a problem. The whole situation is part of your problem. And I think that's what she's got to figure out, which I think by the end of the episode, she figured that part out. But in the beginning, last week, it was just about that one post. But again, what happens the next time and the next time and the next time?
Oh, I dig it. That's why I say that she's trying to find her own way.
You
Because
know, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah.
like right now, she's living down in a motel. She could go back to the pool house. You know what I'm saying? They just be like, okay, just go back to the pool house. You know, and
But
Vivian probably pushed the narrative further, like you need to create your own way, you need to find your own path, you need to set up on your own feet, you know, this, that, and the other. Even though that Phil is willing to just go ahead and be like, you know what, here it go, whatever it is that you need, you know, I'm gonna go take care of you, however you need to be taken
And we
care of.
know that a lot of that is pride.
Right.
A lot of that is her pride.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's going to be just a little discord between her and her father. I'm not going to say he's going to totally disown her, and I don't think that he's going to just let her be out in the streets. But I think he's going to pull back from her just a tad bit because of the fact that she was unwilling to take the post down. So I don't necessarily think that he's going to be as supportive of her as he's been in the past. But that's just my
I think
opinion.
he'll be all right once he
We'll
realizes
see.
she left the house. I think if she had stayed in the house, once he's gonna find out she left the house and that she living in a hotel and they gonna tell her to bring her ass home. But
Jeffrey owned it.
I think if she had stayed in the house and continued to do those videos, I agree. But the fact that she took a stand and said, no, this is not what I want my brand to be, I think that might be a turning factor.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we see Will and his mother is in his room, and she's kind of admiring his trophies and his awards and things, and they're just having a little small talk, and of course they get on the subject of Viv, and this competitiveness where she's constantly comparing herself to her sister, and how she treats him versus how he treats. I mean, it's annoying. And
That's what I said. That whole sister thing got on my nerves this episode.
it's very annoying. And Will basically tells her, like, look, Ma, y'all more alike than you're willing to admit. You both give good advice. You're both strong-minded women. You're both opinionated women. Like, you guys are more alike.
Even though it was annoying, do y'all think it was valid?
No, I don't believe it was. I don't believe it is. Not for the reasons that she said in this episode. I don't believe it was valid. Ready, set, go. Ready?
I mean, personally, I don't necessarily think like it was interesting. It was interesting. Like they takes on life is just the complete opposite. You got Unvi who drag her knuckles, making sure everything was done. She's the provider for this. She had to work hard and this and the other. And then she flipped on the other side and she looked at her sister, who she felt as though that she catered to her needs her whole life so she could be okay. And now she's just above everything. Like in her head, I think that I just think that she's above everything, because she, married it to Fort. No, I ain't gonna say married it to Fort because they was broke when they got married. But her Unvi just think that that she had the easy way out, that she took the harder path so she would get the easier way, and she not recognizing what she did for her to get the easier way out.
I think this is a classic example of people always seeing the grass as being greener. Again, the argument between the two sisters irritated me because I felt like Vi was looking at Viv's life one way and Viv was looking at Vi's life one way. And I think, how when you get mad at somebody and no matter what they do, you just mad. It don't matter. Why are you chewing so loud? Because you already mad at them. And I just think
you're looking for something to be mad at them about.
You gonna find the reason, right?
Yeah, and I just think that's where Aunt Vi was with Vivian. I think she just decided she was mad at her, and it didn't matter what she did, it was gonna be wrong. She got off, like we said earlier, she got off the plane on ready. She got off the plane waiting to find something to be wrong. And
or
even
ready
with
to start
Will,
complaining about something.
right, even with Will couldn't say anything nice about Uncle Phil or Aunt Vi without her feeling like it was a slight against her. And it's like, me appreciating what they did for me has nothing to do with you. And it doesn't mean that what you did, like the 16 and a half
Is
years
of no
that you
value.
raised me, are not negated because I appreciate the fact that I'm out here in Bel-Air and they're opening a world to me. That's why I said before when like 2 episodes ago when Trey came and he was like, I want to stay in LA, and she didn't want him to stay. And he was like, listen, this is what you've always told me to do. You've always said my crown is out there and I got to get out of Philly. But you wanted me, like, I think Damon just said this, but you wanted me to do it your way. You didn't want me to do it. Like, so you were cool with me going away to college to get out of Philly, but you're not cool with it being like this. You know what I mean? And I just
You
think
don't
that
want me with my sister, your sister, my
right.
aunt.
I just think that with Aunt Vi, she just decided she was mad, and it just didn't matter. She was just mad.
She's definitely harboring resentment, and she's being very unreasonable in the respect to her sister has evolved, and that's what you're supposed to do in life. You know, you're mad at her because she has an opportunity, she has a better life now. Now, if she would have turned her back on you and left you behind and didn't acknowledge you as her sister and treated you poorly, then I could see cause for resentment. But in life, shouldn't you want to see your family do well? But it's like it's just like real life. You know, there are certain people in your family that don't want to see you do well. And they don't want to acknowledge you or cheer you on that you're doing well. They want to talk about how you got to doing well. You know, everyone's opportunity ain't always from, you know, struggling and scratching and surviving. You know, some people inherit money. Some people marry into money. Some people work hard for their money. An opportunity is an opportunity. If it's a better opportunity than what you had, regardless of how I got to this point, I'm here now.
Right.
And
I mean, even when
I can help you along.
right.
The way while you sitting here mad, I can help you. You struggling. I can put some
and I mean, right. That goes back to I'm getting ahead of it, but we were talking about this on the phone when they got into the argument about helping out Mama, and it's like, listen, I did. You know, you can't ask for help and then get mad at how the person chooses to help.
Exactly.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. That part right there, it's like, and you know, Phil was just like, well, hey, we sent money. You know, what else were we supposed to do? Drop what we was doing and then come stay out there and help too? And she like, yeah, y'all sent money, but
you were in a position where you could physically help. We were in a position where we were afar, but we still acknowledge, we still contribute. So it's not like we just forgot and say, oh, well.
Right. And I can see the argument. If they lived in the same city, I see the argument.
Yes.
I see the argument. If they live in the same city. But you live on the other side of the country, and I'm sending you money. And like she even said, I would send you money to hire a full-time caretaker.
You chose not to.
Stranger taking care of my
I feel like she was doing grunt work.
It's like no matter what my solution was, it wasn't going to be good enough. What you wanted was for me to struggle like you were struggling, and I ain't gonna struggle like you struggling. I'm gonna help you the way I know how to help you. I'm not getting down in the trenches if I can afford to pay somebody to dig the ditch for me. I'm sorry, I'm not. You want me to
get like the situation where, like, it's kind of like a situation where Vi felt like she did the grunt work. It just felt like she always had to do the dirt. Like she always had to get in there and get physical with it. And
but she ain't
all Vivian had to do was write a check.
But at the end of the day, she ain't have to. Like they said, they were sending money. She could have hired her.
She didn't, but that's the way she feel. That's the way that she just felt like she had to do. Like she just had to be
and I get that
force.
I just feel like in that moment, she put herself in that situation. It's just like you know, somebody can't hand you a knife and they say, hey, look, be careful with that. It's sharp. And then you take it and rub your hand across it. They told you.
Well, the thing about it is that it's like we said earlier, no matter what she chose to do, no matter what her actions were, they were never going to be received as, you know, good intentions. She's looking for something to be upset about. She's looking for something to keep this anger brewing.
I'm doing this, and all she do is throw her money around.
It was a
Exactly. I'm
lose-lose.
sitting
Right,
here.
exactly.
I'm struggling to take care of mama, and all you do is send a check.
Yeah.
I'm the
I
one
mean,
that.
even to the point where when they were having breakfast, she wanted credit for buying her first paint set. Again, it's just you just want to nitpick. It didn't matter what you said. She was going to find a way to nitpick. So now you mad because I didn't acknowledge the fact that you bought my first paint. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
And then
Like,
It
the
ain't
look,
that deep.
Justin, and
It ain't
then
that
the
deep
little
because obviously at that time you were in a better position to care for us and to make sure that we had a better way and that we didn't have to struggle. This woman acts like she's out here sleeping on a park bench. I mean, you're comparing apples to oranges. Your situation is not her situation, but you want her to be in the same situation you're in rather than being happy for your little sister and say,
right.
"Oh, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad that your family is doing well or whatever. I'm proud of you." Instead of saying that, is, well, you didn't get it the right way because if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have this, and if it wasn't for your husband, you would. You don't know that. You don't know that would have been her outcome. You don't know
Even
how her
Q,
life would have turned out if
Exactly.
these things weren't available in her life right now. You can say that, but you don't know what that woman would have chose to do in her life.
even Q
She could have
said,
grew up to be a successful artist and had
even
wealth.
Q said, side note, is it just these two sisters in the series? The original had four sisters. I think as we go along, we'll probably see them like in, further seasons.
I
Xavier
don't know because
says,
they still haven't mentioned them. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That's a
Xavier
good
says,
question.
but has Vivian ever said thank you for putting me through school and taking care of mama? Sometimes people just want to be thanked. Could be.
But you know what? That may be. I can't say she did or didn't, but that never came out her mouth.
Right.
She was just
It
like
didn't.
even she wanted. She never said it was about thanks. She said it was about acknowledgement.
Yeah, right,
You
right,
know,
right, right.
you just ran off to California, and we were sending you money, and we were doing this, and we were doing. And if it wasn't for us, and you never acknowledged, you just ran off and left us. So it wasn't about you never said thank you. It was you never acknowledged the sacrifices that we made
And
for
you
you, or
want me
what
to do it
we
in a
did.
public way.
Unvied thinks that
You
Yeah,
want me to
Vivian
do it in a
thinks
public way.
it's
Thank you from me to you is not good enough. It's just like with the whole situation about the paint set. You want everyone to know that I did this for you. You want everyone to
yeah.
know that it. Well, if you didn't buy it, that doesn't mean I wouldn't have had it. It's just
it's
like
that old saying. It's that old saying, right? What it's not what I think of you is what I think you think of. You know what I'm saying? What I think you, and that's not what I think of. What I think you think of me is what I think you think of me. So, like Vivian or Aunt Vibe, should I say, thinks that Vivian thinks that she's better than her
yeah,
because she has money. Aunt Vibe thinks that that's in Vivian's head.
yeah.
So that's where the conflict comes from.
They're both
That's
they're
part of it.
both
That's a huge part of it.
they're both
Is what
in their
you
own
is what I
feelings.
think you think of me.
They're both in their own feelings about a perception.
Right.
Yep.
Facts.
I have a perception of what you think of me, and you have a perception of what I think of you. It's it's
hmm
it's like you're reacting to something that's not existent.
Instead
It's
of just
all in your
having a
mind.
conversation, instead
Instead
of
of
just
having
having
a
a conversation
conversation,
about the
yeah,
bitterness, because
You know
now
why
it's just
quintessential?
it brewed and it's just bitter.
So quintessential said, then why not say it early on instead of waiting for the acknowledgement? You know why? Because that's not what she's mad about. That's what she's saying. She's listen, and this is my opinion, and this is why a lot of this episode irritated me because between
Right.
the Vivian and Vi situation, which irritated me, and then these
Mhm.
situations where y'all are just insulting my intelligence because y'all smarter than this, I kind of was over this episode. But honestly, quintessential, the reason why she didn't say it earlier, because like I said, it wasn't about none of that. It boiled down to Vivian went after her dreams. Vivian left Philly. She did what she had to
same
do.
thing we're trying to
She,
do.
right, the same thing Will is doing. She left Philly. She went after her dreams. She wanted to be an artist. She went out to LA. She became an artist. She married a really nice guy who became a really rich guy, and she's living this really rich life. It's not about any of that shit that Vivian is saying. It is the
Right.
jealousy that that vibe, excuse me, I'm getting the names. It's the jealousy that the little sister had the
Viola.
audacity, Because she even said it. She was like, well, I was too busy chasing Lou around. So again, you're mad at
Right.
her
But that was
for not
and that was the
for
point.
making the decisions that she made that made her successful. And I'm
And
not even
that
gonna
was a
say
personal choice.
right, and I'm not even gonna say that she's jealous of the fact that Vivian is rich. I'm not saying so much that. I think she's jealous of the fact that she took a chance and it worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. And I think that, and that's what
I
I'm
think that's
saying.
right,
I'm like, I'm
Xavier.
looking at the thing and I'm looking at it, I'm just like, wow. Well, Vi's a nurse and Vivian was an artist. But at the same time, like you said, really B, she's pissed because she decided to chase her dreams. And it was like, oh, you remember that art set? You wouldn't have none of this if it wasn't for the art set.
Yeah, you know what I
It's
mean.
like it's
Yeah,
that it
I
goes
have
back
a
to what it to me. It kind of gives me that crab in the fucking barrel mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like you have concocted in your mind that you're down here, but your sister's up here. So you're gonna find a reason just to pick with her while she up here because you want those accolades for taking care of mama or buying a pay set or whatever. Like CG said, hell, she probably would have still been in the same life she's in now. And then what happens?
I have personal thoughts on this. And it's very similar to this scenario, but sometimes people in your family they have their own thought process of how you should live your life. And Vi is very judgmental to the fact that I feel like you should be living this type of life as opposed to the life that you are living. She doesn't feel like she's deserving of it because she didn't work for it. But again, it goes back to what I said. Sometimes opportunity comes in all different
In
types
all
of ways for people,
shapes and sizes, right?
and it's how you choose to live your life after you receive that opportunity. Now, if I'm out here partying and bullshitting and living the good life and out here running the streets and living a fast money lifestyle, then judge me then. But if I'm out here doing the right thing, I'm not out here bothering you. I'm out here trying to do the best I can by your son. I'm out here trying to take care of my family. What about my family? What about their needs? Quit putting your personal feelings aside. Put your personal feelings aside and look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is we as a family are doing better than we did then. And you have
and
an
I think
opportunity to grow with me, not away from me. I'm not disowning you. I'm not leaving you behind. You chose to leave yourself behind because you don't like the way that you don't like the fact that I'm rich.
And I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna be done with it. But I think the X factor that none of us know the answer to is, I think some of this resentment, and you said this offline, CG. I think what we don't know is the whole situation with Will's father, and I really think that that's part of this resentment.
Yeah.
I think that's part of this separation. And notice, Aunt Vi was using telling Will about the situation with his father as like a threat to them because they got scared. Whatever they did, whatever happened, and she even said that. She said, "Do you ever think about how that's gonna make Will feel about us?" So she got off the plane ready, and she threw that at them as a threat. So I think part of this resentment is that X factor that we don't know the answer to because none of us know the whole story about Will's dad. But I think that's part of it too.
So we're probably going to end up on because there's several more scenes that we need to talk about. But I think we've covered pretty much our feelings about the whole
Yeah, that's what I said.
Vivian
That's
and
what I said.
Bond
I'm done with it. I
situation.
already said what I said.
But she goes on to ask Will because she's still in the room with Will and they're talking. And she goes on to Will. She's very curious as to what Will remembers about his father. And, she asks him, she's like, well, what do you remember about your father and whatever? So, as much as she don't want to answer his questions about his father, you keep planting the seed. You keep bringing the man's name up. You keep, mentioning, subtle little comments about the father, and you think that
She
he's not
definitely
going.
put it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, you think he's not going to want to unpack that? He's like, okay, well, there's more to tell about this, and you're not telling me everything. So what's up? And
I
so,
think part of it is guilt.
yeah, it's probably guilt. So she go and take her ass to bed. That's what she needed to have done to begin with. Take her ass on the bed and sleeping. So Vivian is in her art studio and she's painting, and she's just trying to get in the groove. She got things on her mind. She's trying to decompress. She's trying to get ready for this art gallery presentation thing. And Phil walks in, and he's like, "You coming to bed?" So do you think that they're still on the outskirts of last week's thing because she had a little pallet on the couch, and so she's been sleeping in the art studio? So you think she's still kind of upset with him about the whole Reed
Oh yeah,
situation?
she's still mad. She's still mad.
Mm-hmm.
One thing
He should be upset too.
He should be upset
Definitely.
for what?
Because he already I'm not saying that he was right for popping up and doing what he was doing, but clearly he expressed his discomfort with doing this. And not only did he express his discomfort with it, you went back after he expressed his discomfort to go
And
and
send him home.
yeah, it pretty much sent him home. It's like, what the fuck? We are married. Like, I'm telling you, I'm pretty much expressing to you that I'm uncomfortable with this whole situation.
You know what? We didn't really talk about that last week, but I kind of want to touch on that because I do feel like this was an opportunity for you to address. Just like he put his feelings out on the table, you should have kind of put your feelings out on the table too and move past it. Let's go forward. We can't live in the past. We can't undo mistakes of the past or whatever the case may be. We're here now. Let's focus on what's the betterment for the family or whatever the case may be. But I think ultimately inside she feels like her husband wasn't supportive and still isn't supportive of what she's trying to do. And I don't necessarily think that he's not. I just don't think he knows how to express it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he knows how to express that he's really cheering her on because he's so focused on what's going on in his own world. He's kind of a little bit of a ghost. He's a little bit of a ghost because he's not thinking about his family's feelings and their needs and what they're going through and what his political aspirations is taking the family through. And so he's wanting everyone to kind of fall in line. But then again, at one point, he did support her full-heartedly. So, I don't think that he was the reason she stopped painting. She made the choice to stop painting. So, why hold him responsible for you giving up on your dream? You stop chasing it. So Vivian got some identity crisis, some things that she's got to work through because you can't hold everyone else responsible for your choices.
But then you run into this dude,
that's
whatever.
making you feel good about what you're doing.
Like I said, I'm not saying, before he found out what it was, whatever, that he was right for just popping up like that. And coming at, his take on the situation was bold. But at the same token, as a married couple, he expressed his, that he was uncomfortable with the whole situation. Like, yeah, she's like, well, I'm gonna rescue myself and whatever. Like I said, if that was a dude, Peyton, Michael Ealy wouldn't be talking that crazy ass shit. The stranger wouldn't be talking that crazy ass shit the way that he was, the way that he was talking. Oh, exquisite painting and your palette is just like he wouldn't be talking all that crazy shit. But since it was a female, he chose that direction. And I felt as though that she was wrong and they just need to work past that shit.
I agree.
They both was wrong. We agreed it was wrong. This is what's wrong with this situation, the way I feel. And she can say, well, I feel as though that you just support me, this and another. Start supporting them more. Leave this dude alone. Let's move fucking forward. Like it's other avenues that you can go down doing your artwork. And you need to be more supportive. You need to take a step back from your campaign and look at the family as a whole and support it as a whole instead of what, just going on with your campaign.
But I think she overall doing that to kind of make Phil, kind of make them jealous, but at the same time, it's like one of them payback things. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, like you said, I agree with you totally on that, man. Fix the shit and move on. Fuck it.
I'm gonna say this, and this is just
a lot of finger point going on.
But I think there's a way to imply things. Like I get the impression that Uncle Phil might not have explicitly said, "I want you to stop painting," but I feel like it was the implied suggestion, strong suggestion for her to stop painting. I think she felt like that was what she had to do in order to be a good wife and be a good mother. Like, I don't think he specifically said it or forbade it, but I definitely feel like that's how he made her feel. And he even admitted as much when he said he saw what it was doing to her and he didn't like it. And I do feel like he probably put pressure on her to stop painting.
So you
He
said
probably did, but I think they both going about it all wrong.
More as a assumption, like he wants her to stop.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I don't know how deep this thing is going to go. I'm just really ready for that storyline to just kind of move on. I'm tired of hearing about this whole painting thing.
Jeffrey cutting his water off soon.
Turn who water off?
Reed,
the stranger, the perfect stranger, the perfect guy, whatever the hell his name is, Creep.
Michael Ealy.
Yeah, dude, he just creepy. Every movie he in, he then playing a creepy stuff in the barbershop. When he cutting people hair, he good. If he ain't cutting nobody hair, he a creep.
Not if he ain't cutting nobody hair, he a creep. Hey, Miss Honey.
What's going on?
If he cut, and the other movie when he was with Chris Breezy and Idris Elba, he wasn't a creep in that.
Oh, you talking about Takers?
Yeah, he wasn't a creep in that. But all the other movies, he creep.
Yeah.
He creeping this one. He creeping this show.
Have you ever seen Never Die Alone with DMX? Man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
He was creepy.
That was young Michael Ealy, though. That was a young Michael Ealy. So he wasn't creeping that. But he definitely creeping this. You know, he
is creepy.
You know what?
I mean, I don't like the way he's rolling. I don't like the way he's rolling.
You have a talent that just need to be unlocked. How you going to unlock it? How are you going to unlock it, Reed? You want to unlock her talent? What we talking about? What talent are you talking about unlocking? What talent are we talking about unlocking, Reed? No, take your creepy ass on and do your damn turkey paintings, your hand turkey paintings with somebody else. Like, that shit is just creepy. He creeps me out, and his words need to be turned off.
But Phil's not making it hard for his competition right now. I mean, you kind of pushing your wife towards him, so he's still a creep. But sometimes you got the move. You got to move a little different when you got competition.
That's a whole other podcast.
I know, right? So the next morning, Vi's up in the kitchen. She making up breakfast and everything, and Will comes out and they get ready to have breakfast and everything. And of course, the subject of the father comes up again when Will asks her, "Do I look like my pops?" Because she almost said it. Like he asked her. It almost sounded like you wanted to say, "I look like my pops." Do I?
You look just like your motherfucking daddy, boy.
And she just tap dancing all around the question.
That's the thing that's really aggravating me is the fact that you keep bringing shit up and then you try to drop it. You bring it up and then you drop it. You bring it up and then you drop it. And then when he asks something, you just kind of like, oh, well, now you want to teeter-tot around the shit. No, bring the shit up, talk about it, and go from there. Since you so hell-bent. When she got off that plane, I think that's what her agenda was any fucking way.
Yeah. So
she kept one in the chamber. Do y'all think she kept that one in the chamber just to try to convince maybe for him to come home?
Yep.
Absolutely. Because she's still harboring that resentment towards Will, not necessarily towards Will. She holds Vivian more so responsible for it, but she's still kind of in her feelings about the fact that he chose to stay. So, she may be looking for an opportunity to release that silver bullet in hopes that he will come back home.
Oh, y'all see Lady V? Lady V like that part of the show where y'all show y'all sneakers.
Oh, she do? Oh, we ain't got to that part yet, but we will. I need Marvin to come back.
I didn't put no joints on. I didn't put no joints on. I started to, but I didn't put no joints on.
Don't worry, I don't have nothing on either.
The heat I'm gonna bring out tonight is gonna be enough to cover all of us. So I got you covered, bro. I got you covered.
I ain't even bring no joints. I mean, I got some joints I can put on with this, but I ain't bring no joints out.
I'm gonna see if Marvin can guess it. Crystal, you already know, so you can't guess. I'm gonna see if Marvin can guess what shoe I
As
have
if
on
I would
today.
remember the name anyway.
I don't know. I do the international 12s with that. Like, it's a couple things I can do with that white, blue, and
Couple
red.
things we can do with this outfit.
I do the Olympic sixes. Like, it's a couple of
you
things.
got it. You got it.
Damn. I was just gonna say it too.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Yo,
Like, it's a couple things I do with it. Yeah.
All right, well, this is what I had on today.
Okay.
You dirty bastard. I need those.
Okay.
Last shot.
I
in the
give y'all
gym.
I
one.
know they're releasing the Rebellionaires again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I give
Chris,
y'all
you
one
ain't
guess
doing
what I
no
had
with
one
that.
today.
Yeah, give me that. You
No,
know that's
Damon said he need them.
I do need
Okay,
them.
well,
I need them.
Yes, you
That was
did.
the first pair of
Y'all
Jordans
wanna
that
guess
I
what I
ever
had
bought
on
with my
today?
own money.
Yeah, you got on
With my own money, my own check.
You got Uggs.
I had on my Uggs today. Me too, Abby. I got a fresh pedicure too. I can show off. But that's all I got.
So of course, here at breakfast, she decides to want to talk about the paint set and the D'Angelo concert and everything. You know, the D'Angelo concert part wasn't so bad because I felt like that was like a little moment of of them reminiscing on them being young. Until she started going in about the damn paint set, I'm like, shut up, eat your breakfast, just be quiet. Like, I don't want to talk about nobody's mama like that, but that lady just worked my nerves the whole episode.
Now I don't want to talk about nobody's
You
mama
want to
like
sit
that's
here
a
and
real
bitch
mama.
about Crayola crayons? Like, what are we talking?
Yeah.
Like, the opportunity for Will to even come out there to save his whole life. I mean, what, like, whatever. That it did piss me off. It kind of was aggy to me.
So Uncle Phil's in his office, and Jeffrey comes in. And Jeffrey can tell that he's troubled. He's worried, like a good friend. He doing his job. So he's like, yo, what's up with you? Something's wrong with you. What's going on? And they get on the subject about Lou. And I'm like,
that was when they was boxing, right?
Well, they were talking about it then. But remember, because he was like, I think Vi might tell Will about his dad.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And then Jeffrey was like, that's a bad thing. That's when we started really seeing Uncle Phil's opinion about it. Because at this point, we haven't gotten Uncle Phil's thoughts on this whole situation with Will's father. So he was the shits too. So we trying to figure out what the fuck the problem is, and he kind of, went hard with Jeffrey a little bit, and he was just basically telling him that,
He pulled rank on him.
Yeah, he pulled rank on him. He was like, listen, I need you to derail this. I need you to do whatever you need to do to make sure that Will's father doesn't come around. So, he's around, and almost like he's in LA. I mean, I don't know where he is.
That's what I was gonna say. I think he's
pretty
damn close. Yeah, he pretty close.
And he kind of sunned Jeffrey for a little bit. So
nah, it ain't no kinda. He definitely sunned him.
Yeah, I'm about to say that ain't no kinda. He straight up pulled rank.
So
yeah,
and it was very. I like Jeffrey's character more and more because how admirable he was about the fact that he wasn't with that. He was like, I don't think that's you playing God with somebody's life. I don't think that's a decision that you should be making for someone. Let Will make that decision about how he feels about his father. And what if it was you? And he even said, if it was my son, I would want to see how my son turned out and be a part of my son's life. So, now if the dude's a piece of shit and ain't shit father, let Will see and make that decision for himself that his father ain't good for his life. Right. Don't make that decision for me. I appreciate the fact that you want to protect me from my ain't shit father, but still let me see that and experience that for myself before you not give me the opportunity to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
So Will and his mom are out. They celebrate his birthday and everything, and they're having a nice time until well, when they was eating the little ice thingy,
Italian ice.
Yes, he asked about his father again. He was like, "Listen, will you stop babying me? I'm not 7. I'm 17. Like, can you really tell me what's up with my father?"
That
You
Tina
know, and I
Turner
feel
and
like
shit.
she took bits and pieces from the story to make his father look as bad as possible so that he wouldn't have any other interest in him. But I don't think that was all the story that she told. I think there's definitely more to Will's father
Oh,
than what she
it's more
told.
because we know it's more because that part of the story wouldn't have Uncle Phil and Aunt Vi feeling some kind of way. It's definitely more to that story.
And so Vivian shows up. She had said at breakfast when she found out it was going on about, she said, I want to meet y'all for lunch. It's almost like she doesn't want Vi to be alone with Will for a long period of time because she's
She does,
scared
but
what's
she's
going to come
scared
out.
because
So
she
she got to make
threatened her.
sure she's
So she's
around.
scared.
Yeah, she got to make sure she is around to run interference. And so when she showed up for the restaurant, here they go again with this little petty ass bullshit at the table. He's like, you bring Will here often? Like, what's the problem? What are you mad about now? That's what I said.
Right.
That's
Well,
why
she
I
was
said
like,
it didn't matter.
Because she in her head is bougie.
that's the thing that was kind of crazy. It was just like, instead of enjoying, like,
A nice meal.
You mentioned that you saw a celeb walk past the table. Will mentioned that Rihanna was there at one point. And then here it is. Oh, y'all come here all the time? And she like, yeah, we bring the kids out to eat at least once a week. Like, damn.
And her head is bougie.
That's what most black families do on the weekend anyway.
And her head is bougie. Like, you think it like...
Now it's bougie because it's a high-end restaurant.
In Philly, they probably, like, Vi would probably be taking them to, his favorite Philly cheesesteak joint or something like that.
Yeah.
But now you're looking at a upper scale restaurant, a possible 5-star restaurant. It's like, it's bougie. Why would you bring him here? Like, this ain't where we came from. Not you trying to put something in his head so he can get where he came from.
But right, and
it doesn't matter what she did.
It's like, man,
it doesn't matter.
It's like your son can't experience that. You don't want that much.
You want to experience that, right? I would think so.
It didn't matter.
You would want to experience it. You wouldn't think you wouldn't want to be experienced. You had a nice restaurant. You here with your family. You ain't got to worry about the bill. Like, enjoy yourself. Enjoy being with your son on his 17th birthday.
It just doesn't matter. It just didn't matter what she did. It didn't matter. It was gonna all be wrong
at all.
Yep.
It's kind of like how Trey felt when he came out there.
It's exactly how Trey felt when he came out there. Just acting
like,
a fool for no
we
reason.
ain't about to do this. This ain't you.
At all.
Ain't none of this you.
She gave him a pair. She gave him a pair of Jordans. You gave her a picture. How the hell was she supposed to know that picture was gonna be your gift? How was she supposed to know that? She know the boy likes shoes. She gave him a pair of shoes.
And you gave him more of a sentimental gift, and that's fine. But see, that goes back to, and I'll say that when we get to that scene. So we get to Fred and because before him and Jeffrey had their little discussion about Lou, Phil had pretty much told Jeffrey to facilitate a meet with Fred to try to
trust 12.
Yeah, to try to see if they can come to some type of, I don't know exactly, was he trying to get the man to convince the man to concede? Like, no, he's not going to do
Pretty
that.
much.
So, you would have been better putting some money on the table for him and make him go away that way before you think that he's going to appeal to reason. But he comes up with this grand idea that they're going to have a debate, and the debate is going to determine who stays in the race or whatnot. Listen, that man going to play dirty. And that man ain't
not only that, but I think Uncle Phil is underestimating his opponent. You think because you're an attorney and maybe you debated in college and you probably won the debate team, whatever, you think you got a leg up on him.
Exactly.
Don't. Because like he said, I'm still a servant of the people. Like, the people know me. The people identify with me. So I agree. One, I think he's going to play dirty. I don't think he's going to play fair. But two, I don't think it's going to be as easy as Uncle Phil thinks it is.
No, it ain't. And you think he's going to end up getting up out of it? He's going to end up I think he's going to end up losing that debate.
Exactly, Abby. When I saw that picture, I was like, ain't nothing else in that box. Like, the picture is cool, but that's something you could have mailed me. Like, that's my birthday gift, and you really got mad. Like, listen, I understand. I know y'all are going to talk about how major those sneakers are, But it could have just been a regular pair of Jordans, and he would have probably got the same.
He would have out. He liked shoes. How was he
Yeah.
supposed to know that his auntie bought him the Muslin off-whites? How was he supposed to know that? Now we're not gonna get into how much they run.
Oh yes, we are, because y'all are not gonna be able to reserve. Yes, y'all are.
They 1,400 now. I'll tell you right now, they 1,400.
Glad they wasn't when I got mine.
And maybe one or two of us on this podcast have them.
So in the next scene,
I got them.
Show me.
Yeah, I'll show you one.
I don't even know what they call.
We haven't even gotten to the scene yet, Marvin. You ready to show the shoe off already?
Yeah. Look. Now, why you got to do that, man? Why you got to start? We gonna.
I was trying to wait till we got to the scene so I can pull it out. But if you want to go there, we can go there now.
We'll go there then. Well, you take it. Well, you take it there then, sir. She should have bought him the tools. How about that?
I don't feel like I'm packing those.
But I just feel like with the picture, I love the gesture of it, but at the same time, we talking about a 17.
It's a gift of sentiment. It's a gift of sentiment,
right?
Not a gift of monetary value.
He was happy at the fact that he actually got the picture. He was grateful for it, and I think she just saw like that shine in Will's eyes, like, oh,
because he was a 17-year-old and you just gave him a $1,400 pair of off-whites. How do you think he was going to react?
How you think he was going to? Exactly.
I mean, that's like you giving me a Honda Accord for graduation or a Maserati. You know,
I mean, you give me a pair of off-whites right now, and I'm gonna be like, yeah. Really?
But so in the next scene, we get to the Thirsty Kitchen. She goes to meet with Kylo, and Kylo she pretty much tells Kylo that she got some new content. It's fire. It's better than that Thirsty Thought shit. You know, what's up? And he looking at her like that ain't gonna fly. Like, you know, you got 3 million views versus 100,000 views. You on a whole nother level. They don't want to see that cooking shit. Go put that lingerie on. That's basically what he was telling her.
Hey, to what Kiwan J said, she said Vivian could have gave Will a pen and Val would have blew up.
Exactly.
She could have gave him a blow pop.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yep, I agree totally. It don't matter. She could have gave him a head.
No. They weren't $1,400 when I bought them. The value
$1,400 when we bought them. No.
Yeah, the value has increased to that. But,
yes, they are. Yeah, they have increased tremendously.
Yep. And then you have to think about the reason why they're going up right now too. So,
right, the creator of Off-White, Virgil Abloh, God rest his soul, he passed from a rare cancer, and in the resale market, you know, things like that shoot shoes straight in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, straight to the top.
I mean, if y'all Kobe Bryant fans, anything with Kobe number, name, anything on it was going for serious dollars. People even reselling the body armor. You know, it's body armor they got now with the Kobe, the Mamba and Mambacita bottles. They purple and gold. People reselling them bottles.
So Kylo pretty much tells Thirsty Kitchen that listen, I've been doing research on you. I've been doing my fact check.
Thirsty Kitchen. Thirsty Kitchen.
He pretty much tells her that I'm gonna pin this for a second because I want to talk about that. He pretty much tells her, listen, I don't do my homework on you, and I know that you don't never keep up with nothing you do. You don't never stay on the course with nothing you do. You always kind of jumping from this thing to the next thing or whatever the case may be. Like, listen, I'm sorry you didn't read your contract, but, you know, if you pull out now, you know, he didn't say what the dollar amount was. We found out later on in the episode, but he was like, you know, there's penalties for that. You should have read your contract. You know, and she looked all disappointed and hurt, and, you know, she's like, fuck you. And, you know, he's a creep. but at the same time,
Yeah,
he's
he is.
doing his job. I
Yeah,
mean,
he is.
it's not his fault she chose not to read the contract.
Big Red Productions. My office hours are from 9 to 5.
Raping You Records, Death Row Records. We'll be raping you, raping you, raping you.
Exactly. Yeah, he just running up a check on her. That's it. He was like 3 million views. Cha-ching. Yep. So we get to the scene where Uncle Phil and Jeffrey, they working out, they boxing. And he's got a lot of aggression up in him. And they still talking about this whole Will father thing or whatever. And, Uncle Phil is he's mad. And I don't like the fact that the team, the dream team is, we at odds. I don't like it when the dream team at odds. We family first.
Right.
Jeffrey is right. I'm sorry, Uncle Phil, y'all wrong. He's right. And I like that relationship with them because right, wrong, or indifferent, even though you are my employer, I still look at you more of my friend than my employer.
Right.
And I'm going to give you the best advice. I'm going to tell you what's up, whether you want to hear it or not. And I appreciate friendships like that. I really do.
Jeffrey was taking a stand
that I have in my life that tell me right or wrong, or no matter whether I want to hear it or not. And sometimes you need that friend. You need a friend like that in your life that's going to put you on the course of making a good decision instead of co-signing with you on a bad decision.
Right, just telling you, and you should respect that. Like,
yeah, you should respect.
Yeah, I don't want a friend like that.
I don't want a friend that's gonna agree with everything I say. Right.
I mean, just to give it example, and not to really get too personal. It's like when I was on furlough and CG, you remember that conversation? I'm like, man, the 401k is huge. I could take some money from that. You was like, no, don't do that. Even though mentally, I
let that money sit there for when you need it. That's what.
But let it sit there for when you need it. And you know what I'm saying? You was like, no, don't do that just yet. You don't need it. And I'm like, you know what? You right. As a friend gonna tell you something that's right that you may not want to hear, but it's a friend. That's a true friend.
You know what, Xavier? I kind of feel you on that. I kind of agree with that because I kind of had a little twitch in my mind while I was thinking the same thing that, he set her up to be easy prey. Because he had done his research on her, he knew how indecisive she was. He knew how desperate she was. He took advantage of an opportunity. So for that reason, Abby, go ahead and put the order out for his ward to get cut off. Go ahead and send the disconnection notice.
Did y'all see what
Did y'all see
what Keep It Cute said? She said she had some Kobe's in that her son never wore. They've been in her closet for years. Take a picture and send them to me. I'll send them to the fellas, and they'll tell you if they're worth something.
All Kobe's are worth
something. They probably worth a couple dollars.
And the size.
They worth a couple dollars.
Take a picture, and if they've never been worn, take a picture and send that to me. I'll send it to the fellas.
If they're size 9, I'll make you an offer.
Yep.
He said if they're size 9, I'll send you an offer.
I'll make you an offer.
If they're size 12, I might make you an offer.
Get
this money.
12 years going up. We listen.
Yeah, we can talk.
Nah, we gonna do it like that. We gonna put them on GOAT and get us some money.
Yeah, right. Tell them put them on GOAT and get us some money.
Yeah, we're gonna get this money.
Get this money.
Y'all so silly. Y'all wild tonight. So what do y'all think is gonna happen between Uncle Phil and Jeffrey? Do y'all think
I think it'll be all right. They just have a disagreement.
I think he'll get right.
Told him what he needed to hear.
I agree.
Now, Uncle Phil was
day and 9.
Oh, David, there you go.
Oh, shit.
Yes, size 9.
Oh,
what time is it? Game time.
He'd have hit us with John Johnson. Come on in and get yourself something cold to drink.
Yeah.
And I hit on some bets today, messing around with March Madness. Let's do it.
Oh, he got a little money to spend. He got money to spend.
He got some money to spend.
Talk to me.
So
water disconnect notification has been sent. Wow.
Thank you, Abby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Every on that customer service, right? Quick. That disconnected notice has been sent out.
Do not give Abby permission to be cutting people water off. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, she scheduled those appointments.
but real talk though, I think it was just a dispute, like friends dispute. I think like honestly, in their heart of hearts, they like are friends. You know, despite the employer-employee situation, let's just take that out of the picture. I think they are friends. You know, Jeffrey got socked. You know, kind of as a like, my dick bigger than yours situation, but. Right. I think overall, they still gonna be good. They gonna get past this and they're still gonna be good.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be good.
No, they're not.
I think Uncle Phil crossed the line with that shit.
He did.
I think he definitely crossed the line with that, man. Like, you tell him basically, like, man, you work for me. Do it. Basically, he told him, do what the fuck I tell you to do.
That's exactly what he told him. Listen, they're not gonna be right, and I'm gonna tell you why they're not gonna be right. They're not gonna be right because Jeffrey was actually getting ready to quit. He only stayed because Will asked him for his help, and he's gonna help Will, and that's what's really gonna do it. Him and Uncle Phil gonna be in the front yard duking it out because you know dudes can do that. Y'all can fist fight and then still come back from it,
right, and be okay.
But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They gonna duke it out. It's gonna get worse before it get better.
Yeah, if I whoop your ass, I don't want no hard feelings. It's good. We cool.
Then we go get a beer. Let's go ahead and give me my fade. Run my fade.
Then he's gonna help Will. He's gonna help Will.
He said, "Give my fade. We can go get a beer."
Run me my fade. Then we go get a beer afterwards. That's just kind of. But I think that's where it's going to be at. I think like even if he would have quit,
we all going to be some fight motherfuckers. Come on, bring your ass.
I think
we all going to be some fight motherfuckers.
I don't know just what it is you trying to say.
And I agree with you, Abby. I think that is probably the first time. I think that probably was the first time that he pulled rank on Jeffrey like that. But that's all the more reason why whatever happened with Will's father is some deep shit. Like, it's deep. I don't know what it is.
It's deep.
I think that was one of those situations where he feels as though that I could be your friend, but I can't be your employee. I still think they would have been cool, but he couldn't work for him no more. Because of that conflict, they couldn't work with him no more. But I think overall, as their friendship was
Let me tell you what I was in fear of.
I don't even think it was that. I think it was the principle of the fucking matter. I think that personally, Jeffrey just like, man, wait a minute, man. Like, I can't be a part of keeping a young man away from his father, whatever the fuck the reason is, whatever it is, it got. I think
it's a personal issue that Jeffrey got going on that has something to do with that.
He said,
I think about my son.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Abby, I agree, but that's the difference between women and men. Women are like that. If I'm done with you, it's to the dirt. But guys can have a whole fist fight and then go out for drinks.
It has happened.
It depends on the magnitude.
You go out that same day.
It depends on the magnitude. It depends on the magnitude. If we super cool and depend on the situation, I whoop your ass and we over with it. If it's something else, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and I'm probably gonna whoop your ass again after I see you the second time, and maybe the third time, and maybe the fourth time. I'm gonna be on that. It's just gonna be a fight every time I see you. Now
that's a whole other podcast too. But
now, if you my A1, first off, I ain't even fighting my A1s. It's probably just gonna be some shoving and probably some grabbing and some strong arm and be like, bro, I ain't even gonna fight you, man. Fuck it, leave it alone.
You know how, like I said, men can do that shit.
Yeah, it's just way different. Like in this,
women are the ones that is on site. If we fighting every time I see you, it's a problem.
It's
that's
like the
dirt.
Situation.
We could be in this. Our kids can put us in the same retirement home. It's to the dirt. We be in our walkers fighting.
If you my mans, you my mans. Like I personally, personally, like blood don't to me. Blood don't make you family. Blood just make us related. So if you my mans, you my mans, regardless of whatever situation is.
It's like us. We're not going to let anything, no matter how serious the situation is, we're not going to let anything come between our friendship.
Exactly.
So our friendship is going to always be priority. And sometimes, and we've all since we've been close and we've all been connected, we've dealt with some serious situations that, you know, we've had to share our opinions to each other on.
Yep.
And it just gave us more respect for one another, not resentment. Like, I'm not going to be mad at you because you told me something I didn't like to hear. I'm not going to be mad at you because, you know, I'm a little older than y'all fellas and I don't went down some paths in my life. And if I see things heading y'all direction, you know, I'm going to put that in your ear. I'm not going to try to son you and tell you how to live your life. You're a grown man at the end of the day. But me being your friend, me calling you my
We
brother,
ain't friends, we brothers.
right? I'm going to tell you what I feel like is going to be the best advice I can give you. Now,
You
what you
might
choose
not
to
like
do with
it,
that
but
is your choice. We still cool at the end of the day. I'm not going to be
Right.
mad at you because you didn't follow
But
my
I think
advice.
that's the situation here with Jeffrey, and I think that's part of the reason why he was going to resign, because
Exactly.
he couldn't be the employee no more with
Yeah.
giving this type of advice, because there go to conflict.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
now
But-
it's not
but
like
I don't
do
feel
as
like
I say
this-
because I'm
I don't
paying
feel
your
like this
bills.
should have toppled that. The way he sunned him and the way he treated him, yes. But listen, it ain't on no moral code type ish, because you don't have no problem going out here turning people water off. You don't have no problem out here going out here getting dirty, getting your hands dirty. So it ain't that. But I think it's the fact that, you know, what I was afraid of, and just for a moment there, they were kind of like giving you little hints that they were trying to make it like Jeffrey was Will's father. I was like, I hope to God they're not doing this.
Nah.
I hope to God they're not doing this. I don't know. It was very ominous. The conversation was very ominous. His reaction was very ominous. It was
I think Jeffrey just got a situation where he has a son that he's not being allowed to see, and I think that just did a trigger for him.
It was one of them. It was in relation to maybe his life, his life, and he just like, man, nah, man, I can't be a part of that shit.
It hit home. It hit home for him. Okay.
Abby choose violence every day.
Well, you just not realizing that? Or you just
I need her to watch like some
Abby,
Coco Melon or something.
To
kind of just mellow out.
Or you having a good, hey, Ebony, it's a nice
Listen, you can call Abby first thing in the morning, and Abby is already on violence. Abby is on
I'm waking up to beat a bitch ass. Like, what the hell?
I have called Abby first thing in the morning, and she, like, I don't know, she thinks she hears something in my voice, and she like, who we need to go fuck up? I'm like, Abby, whoa,
she choose violence every day. And we will address that in another podcast too.
We might have to have a podcast all about Abby. How about that? We might need to do a podcast all about
She
Abby.
might want to beat our ass after that podcast. She might be like, all right, call up Jack Jordan water. We need
Jack's water off, please.
Yeah.
Like, what? Damn, what I do to you?
So we finally get to this party. Jazz roll up and Thirsty Kitchen, you know, goes up to him and apologizes.
Hillary.
But y'all don't have no qualms whatsoever calling my precious Carrie a hoe and a slut and all these other derogatory names y'all call her.
Hoe.
She's a whole whore bag.
And she's a thirsty kitchen. And she's a thirsty kitchen. So there you go. But anyway,
every other episode, she was sleeping with somebody else. She was a slut bag. You haven't seen Hillary sleep with one person yet.
Listen, retro. In the show, in one episode,
she called herself a thirsty kitchen.
70% of the men
sure did.
Carrie has slept with. She slept with the lead attorney. She slept with the detective. She slept with the suspect.
Keep going. Keep going. Like Jay said, what we do, keep going.
Right.
It's a laundry list.
It can't be no worse than that baby powder wearing, wig wearing Tasha St. Patrick.
Why you keep going to Tasha?
Well, why you keep going back that far?
Because she was a whole
Hillary. First of all, you keep calling her Thirsty Kitchen and selling. You call her Tasha St. Patrick, but you don't call Hillary.
Oh, I got way worse names for Tasha besides.
But you don't call Hillary.
Tasha? She called herself a Thirsty Kitchen. She
sure did. She sure did.
She was saying as it pertains to her Instagram modeling page.
All right,
she's an Instagram
whatever. Go ahead.
You know how these influencers do.
We found out she living in the hotel. She left the house. Oh, $50,000.
It was nice to see her apologize.
Not Professor Milgram just had a friendly cootie tat.
I thought
Her
it was
shit wasn't
going
even
ahead.
invite only.
I thought
It was
going ahead.
interesting.
I thought
She
it was
had to
going
pay
ahead.
at the door. She had to pay at entry. It wasn't even invite only.
But you know what? You know what? That's another podcast. We're gonna do a podcast about thoughttism, and Tasha will be the guest star. Maybe we can get her on the channel that night and let her talk about how she opened her legs like a peace sign.
And Professor
anyway.
Bill and Professor, that professor is going to be at the top of the. You know what? We are going to have a different podcast.
Can we get back to Jazz and the Thirsty Chef? All right. Anyway, she apologized.
That's a fact, Xavier. At least she did get. Yo, that's a fact.
Oh man,
Professor Bill banging this old fake ass tank looking ass dude.
You know how something just tickles your soul? Like that thing just tickled me just now.
Hey,
then she banged the I'm ready dude. She banged the I'm ready dude. Let's stop. We ain't gonna do that.
He said we doing a podcast on thoughttism.
Let's stop. We ain't gonna do that.
She was a classy lady.
She was a classy hoe.
Oh man,
yeah, she was a classy lady.
She was an educated hoe.
She had a condition.
Yeah, between her legs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Continue.
Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Tasha with no dried up. Tasha with no dried up well either.
Tasha did a lot of shit on purpose. That's another story. She did a lot of shit on purpose.
Anyway, back to Hillary. Back to Hillary and Jazz. So I was happy to see that she would apologize to him for her behavior. And you know, when she told him that he was staying in the hotel, I thought Jazz was gonna be like, "No, you're gonna stay in the hotel. You can come stay at my spot." But I like how Jazz played that. Jazz like, "Okay, appreciate it. I'm about to go enjoy the party." But whatever, I'm so glad they don't have him chasing her, and I'm so glad they don't got him just pussy drunk over her. So you know, he's feeling her. He's feeling her, but at the same time, he ain't pressed. So I really like that element. I really like the element. I'm really
he got a moral compass about him. He does have a moral compass about him.
Yeah, he definitely has a moral compass about him. I like that, and I can't actually wait for them to hook up. And so
you can call her more of a hoe.
He didn't call her a hoe. He just said her name is
Thirsty Kitchen.
She named herself that.
Anyway. As we were.
You can't be mad at that. It's just like, you know,
admission is the first step to admitting that you have a problem. I ain't saying the girl a hoe. I ain't call her a hoe. I'm not saying she a slut.
She named herself Thirsty Kitchen.
I ain't saying she got her legs spread like a peace sign. I ain't saying none of that about her. I ain't call her a pussy fairy. I ain't call her any of that. I'm calling her exactly what she refers to herself as: the Thirsty Chef, the Thirsty Kitchen. She whatever the fuck she is.
Instagram. It's no different than you say Jack of Jordans or
no different than
whatever I did.
I don't know, bro. If you name yourself something like that on Instagram, you know what kind of audience you bringing.
That's a fact.
That's why she got them 3 million views. She be on OnlyFans.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. When you give your name some shit like that, or no matter what it is, you know what's happening. You can be scrolling through that shit and see that. Oh yeah, you gonna be on there.
You gonna stop and look around,
right?
I'm gonna take a little piece.
Y'all so stupid tonight. So Vi, look at Crystal shaking her head at us.
I'm gonna take a little piece.
So Vi and Carlton have a conversation about the fact that Will's always wanted a brother and Carlton's always wanted a brother. So we're trying to bring this narrative together that you guys are gonna be brothers now. Blah blah blah. They were born, and so they get ready to want to sit down for dinner. Lisa shows up and Will introduces Lisa to his mom, and she likes her and all that good stuff. And Beulah come on in and enjoy herself and enjoy. She hang out at the back. Didn't her daddy tell her to stay her ass away from over there? She over there every episode since.
Messy.
Messy. Told her to stay her ass away from over there. She over there every 5 minutes.
Messy Lisa.
Trying to get her back cracked.
Fucking rebellious ass trash bag.
Yeah, she's trying to get her back cracked, man. She ain't thinking about that campaign.
Man, look, man.
He got an itch that needs to be scratched right now.
Oh my God, man.
And she
Hot
looking
She
for a
box.
definitely trying
back
to get
scratch.
cracked.
Oh,
Hey,
and
let's.
so
You know what? I'm aggravated. I'm aggravated about that, man.
why
Your
you aggravated, bro?
cousin fucking dated her, and you introduced her to your mama.
I'm gonna think you. I'm gonna, at some point. I mean, I don't like it either, but you just have to let it go because it is what it
You
is.
intro.
You have to let
Oh
it go.
my God, man,
Hell
man,
nah.
that shit just that shit make me mad.
It's not
So
that serious.
Uncle Phil, Uncle Phil's gonna be late for dinner, and so they decide instead of eating, Vivian wanted them to go ahead and sit down.
People have been busy.
She had
But
been.
Bill wanted them to sit down and eat, but they decided to go open the gifts. And so I want to go back to the comment earlier about the picture. What was the significance about that picture? Do y'all
His daddy
is
took
it
it.
inferred that the daddy took the picture?
Yeah, I think that's
Mhm.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think so
Once
too.
again, she's trying to create scenarios where Will ask about his father, so that when she spills the tea, she can. I feel like that's her way of
Plausible,
saying,
yeah.
"Well, Will asked."
She can negate her involvement in the whole
Yeah.
situation because she's dropping these little Easter eggs and she's
Mhm.
planting these little seeds and she's watering them and
It's
they're
creating a
growing.
build up.
Yeah, she's building a build up. Yep.
Yeah, it's to the explosion. Like it's going to have to come to a head. So eventually, when it comes to the head, it's gonna all lead back to the picture and father features and this, this, that, and the other. It's all gonna lead back to that.
I'm hoping. How much hope do we have that Will Smith actually plays Will's father? That would be dope.
That shit gonna be crazy.
That would be dope.
He looks like Will Smith.
That would be dope. If he looks like he would be one of Will's kids, yeah. That would be dope if they bring Will in to be his father. So let's see who they cast for that. That
To
would
hell with Lou.
huh? Oh, you talking about the episode?
To hell with him.
Right.
Oh, you talking about the episode of Fresh
Why
Prince?
he don't want me,
I
man?
don't need him anyway.
Why he don't want
want me? Why he never want me? But Aunt Val wants Will to open her gift first, and she's so excited about this picture. It is a picture that Vivian never seen before, because she said, "I've never seen that picture before." So there's some significance about the picture. You're right. There's some significance about it. But then, of course, the second gift he opens is her gift,
Off-whites.
and it was the Off-Whites. It was the Off-Whites. Yeah, it was the Off-Whites. I would have reacted the same way too, Will.
With a Jordan signature.
with Jordan
With a
sign.
Jordan signature.
With the Jordan
That just went from
as a 17-year-old kid
to $14,000.
But as a 17-year-old kid, what did Aunt Vi expect?
That's what I said earlier. What did you expect his reaction was going to be?
As a man of my age, what the hell?
He didn't buy a damn shoe.
I'm about to say
Yeah,
y'all was
at
at
my
that way.
age.
Y'all grown ass men. So
Yeah, at my age. I'm like, yo, this picture is fire.
Your kids.
The East Side Jordans.
Yeah. But
They could have been a signed pair of 6 rings.
Right.
Like,
what?
whoa.
Team Jordan. Team Jordan. Team Jordan. What's up?
Yeah.
The crazy part about it is Jimmy didn't even buy the fucking shoe. Uncle Phil bought the shoe. And she mad at her sister about it. And Uncle Phil was about, she said, I don't know nobody goddamn shoes. I mean,
he showed this. She said, I don't know.
Like the shoe.
She said, I don't know how expensive they are. I don't know nothing about that. That's exactly what she said.
Just mad to be mad. Just
like I said, it didn't matter. She was just ready to be mad.
Just ready to be mad about something. And the way he showed their ass out in front of that boy's birthday party, they just act a fool. They start arguing back and forth. They going back and forth at it.
They made it about them.
Yep, they made it about them. They took away from Will's moment, embarrassed him in front of his friends.
My bad, Abby.
And whoever, I know who water she turning off now?
Nah, she ain't turned nobody. She said, Jesus, you scared me. I don't know if it was my hell with him that scared. My bad.
I was a little scared too, Ebony. I thought it was you pow, 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 and somebody. Pow, pow, pow. I don't know. I got a little frightened for a second there.
Yeah,
Hey,
That's one of
you
my
see
favorite
what-
episodes of the old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
you see what Keep It Cute said?
Let me see. I call myself gonna buy some off whites just to have. I can only afford the t-shirt. Yeah,
Yeah,
them off
well,
whites.
Them off whites said no
especially
no.
now. Especially now.
Them off whites crack your dome. They bust you upside the head. The off white crack
I
your
don't
dome.
own a pair of off-whites.
I don't
I'm
either.
about to
I
say they
had
don't
them
crack
by
my
soul.
dome because I don't own a pair and I don't want a pair. So
There you go. There's another one.
I don't have any shoes.
There's another one.
whatever.
Oh,
Hey Marvin, look what I got today.
are those the AirPod Pros?
The Max.
Yeah, the Max.
Yeah, I got the Max. But since you want to go there,
I'm more of a Beats guy myself.
Nah, stay focused. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's been 2 hours. We've been here for 2 hours. Stay Joe,
That is gonna take forever. I'm with
Stop.
I would really be. Stop. Put the guns away.
Put them away.
Y'all
It
so
has been
stupid.
2 hours. We are almost done. We see the light at the end of this tunnel.
The guns away.
So after they have their argument in front of everybody and just make a fool out of themselves and act like a whole bunch of teenagers, they both kind of go off to their respective corners. And Aunt Viv, she goes in her room, and Aunt Vi, she go outside. They go to cool off, and Carlton comes in and kind of gives his mom some good advice. He gave her some good advice, and
Yeah.
put some on her to think about. Kind of advice that she should have been following all along. But technically, she didn't start it. She had to defend herself, but she could have been a bigger person and walked away from the situation. But her sister started it. And so Will goes out there and he puts some straightening on his mama. And like, listen, y'all sisters and y'all family, and this is some petty stuff. Y'all need to sit down and talk about it. And so they finally talk, but I really don't feel like that was true resolution.
Right, because that's not the real problem. Like I said,
No.
the real problem goes back to whatever's going on with Will's father. Until they deal with that, they ain't dealing with the real problem.
Yeah, I don't think they addressed the real problem either. I think that the real problem is deeper rooted than what we've seen on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to come out next episode. And I think it's going to come out in season 10. I mean, in episode 10. I think episode 10, the father's going to show up. I already see that. They're talking about him too much in this episode. I'm like you, Crystal, like we were talking about offline. Give us the father already. If y'all not going to give it to us, stop talking about it. I'm ready to get past.
Well, they've been hitting at the father since the first, and I knew that. Remember, I said that going back to the first episode. The father has been a conversation somewhere in every episode. Will talks about his father, something dealing with,
or he's mentioned by somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
So the episode ends with Jeffrey going into the office to put an envelope on Uncle Phil's desk, which we all pretty much know that was his resignation.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have been very curious to know what the letter read. But then Will kind of saves him and comes in and employs his assistants in helping find his father. And Jeffrey's with the shits. So
yeah.
Do you think Jeffrey's actually going to help him find the father?
Yep.
And that's what's going to really put him in.
Right. That's why I said their relationship is going to get worse before it get better, because he's going to help Will find his father. He sure is.
Yeah, I think he is.
But go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just going to say, to backtrack a little bit, Will and Carlton had a good conversation too.
I'm glad you brought that up because I missed that.
Yeah, I feel like it was a good conversation because I feel like for the first time, Will is understanding where Carlton is coming from. When Carlton was like, listen, and I wasn't here when, I could hear y'all, but I was doing something else when y'all was saying about Carlton and the pressure. I was like, I think Carlton puts that pressure on himself. I don't think the family has ever made him feel like he has to be perfect. I think he has felt like he has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to be, like you said, leading my lacrosse team and the debate team and being valedictorian. Like, he puts all that pressure on himself. I promise you, his daddy ain't making him.
Same thing with Hillary. Same thing with Hillary. Nobody was putting pressure on him because remember the daddy said, I'm just happy that you're healthy, and and that you're happy. So you might be right about that.
Right. So part of Carlton's frustration was Will showed up in my world that I've been busting my ass to create for myself, and he knocked it out the park. Like, he came in and he was everybody's friend. He was, he was the popular kid. He was the, and that blew, like, that pissed him off.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think that they had a moment of sincerity. I think that was one. They've had a few moments of sincerity, but I think this was the biggest moment for them. So I think they're going to be all right. I still think they're going to have that brotherly, sibling, rival type relationship, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was when they first started out. I still don't like Carlton, but I'm not going to root for him just yet. But I think there's hope for him and Will to have a better relationship than what they've had. I don't think they're going to be BFFs, but I think they're going to realize that they're family first.
Facts.
And just like the episode says, nobody wins when the family's feuding. So if the family's at odds, everybody losing. So, Chris, I know you said this wasn't a good episode for you, but this was a good one for me. I didn't too much care for the dynamics of the episode, but there were certain parts of the episode that made it good for me, like seeing Jeffrey take his stance with Phil, the whole situation with Carlton and Will. I think that was a good moment. Jazz and Hillary, kind of making up. I thought that was a good moment. So I thought it was a pretty good episode. I can't wait to see what the last two are going to be like. I think they're going to be bangers. Do y'all think that we're going to see more of Uncle Phil's past? I think that's going to come out in season 2. I think we're going to get more of Uncle Phil's past because the more and more, I don't think his hands is all the way clean. I think he got a little dirt. He got a little dirt on his hands. What y'all think?
I agree.
Definitely, man. I think it's it's gonna be some dark spots in his past and his backstory. So I definitely want to see what comes out of it, especially since he's psyching people in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back next week to talk about episode 9. I wonder what's going to be about. I hadn't seen the trailer for it yet, so I'll probably go out there this evening and see if I can find a trailer for next week. Might post it up on the Instagram page. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in as usual. Thank y'all for coming back to our channel. Those of you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share. Let's get these numbers up.
Smash that like button, man. When you come in the chat, smash it.
And we really enjoy all of y'all. We love y'all. You guys are like the best.
Definitely be lit, y'all.
Oh man, we have a
we
good
love
old time.
Y'all are so fun to hang out with. I think that's part of the reason why we be on so long all the time is because we just really enjoy hanging out with y'all. We have a good time with y'all. So we'll be back Sunday to talk about Force. And
and hopefully
you said it's so disappointing. Like,
weren't you disappointed last week? Weren't you the one who was disappointed last week?
Hold on, let me get a news to the chat, and hopefully we can actually convince Anthony Fleming to come on the show because somebody in this podcast is talking to him.
Yep, we got to get some other things out here going on. We'll get some other things out here going on. It's just really hard for all of us. We live in different states, different time zones. It's very hard for us to get our schedules aligned. We would love to give y'all more content on a regular basis, but it's very hard for us to get our schedules aligned. And we're a family, so we don't like getting on when the whole family can't be on. So we'll be back. Talk to y'all about some other stuff.
We appreciate you guys.
Good night.
We'll holler at y'all.
Peace.